up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. It is Wake Up Woodward. What up, though, Flannel Sam? That is the vet of the squad, vet of the network, a Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower. It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
I mean, mixed, because that Red Wings win was awesome, but that
Yeah.
Pistons loss, I'm not going to lie.
That was a gut punch.
Yes. Way to put it better than I could.
Definitely,
A gut
definitely.
punch, absolutely.
And I know we got the Around the City segment where we'll be able to talk a little bit about both those segments. Probably expand a little bit more though with the Red Wings. They did get the win.
Yeah.
And I just like listening to you talk Red Wings as
Thank
well.
you,
And
thank
they deserve it. We talk about it, especially when these teams get those dubs. We make sure we check in and see what's going right and see what the forecast ahead is. Flannel Angelo, I'm sure that you can paint the picture for the people.
my
But
best.
chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of the WUW Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button. Let's run up the likes today. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, that dude Justin, Chased GPT. I like it. I like it, man. I forget who came up with the name, but I like it. Chase GPT, how you doing this morning, bro?
Good morning. It was easy from the Woodward Heavyweights, Speakeasy Sports.
Man.
He's the one who dubbed the name. I think it was like last week at some point, either like on Friday or Thursday or something. It might have been at like one of the watch parties, but
How do you rock with it?
I don't mind it. I thought it was really funny when he said it, and it rolls off really easily. So I just like.
You want to close the polls, or should we leave it open for like another week for the chat family?
I mean, if you guys want to leave it open, I don't think the nickname should be up to the person who wears it. Like that's usually something that like is given to you. So
I feel
on
like.
that.
All right, you know what, chat family? Let's see if you guys can be easy right now. The name at the top is Chase GPT.
Let's
and
go
you know
home.
what? What up, though? KG in the
Let's
sound
go
booth.
home.
Detroit's #1 draft pick. What up, though? Talk to me, Black Hollywood.
Hey man, Chase GPT got to stick, bro. That's the one right there. That's the one. But hey, feeling good, man. A little bit better than yesterday. You know you can't keep a good brother down for too long, so it's day by day with this shit. But hey, I'm really mad about that Pistons loss. LaMelo Ball, really? This is what we doing?
We're going to talk about it.
This is what we doing?
Just a little bit.
Oh,
At least a
my
little
God.
bit. Hey, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth. What up, though? I love the hoodie.
I'm a little upset.
What?
A little upset, man.
I don't know. I heard something completely different.
you
Well, what'd
upset
you
with?
hear?
Just go on ahead.
All I know is I'm a little upset, man.
LaMelo
One
or
point.
Brandon Miller?
More Brandon Miller than anything.
Yeah.
But damn, the box out. Just come on.
Yeah, you can't.
Come on.
We gonna
These are
get
the
into
games that we need right here. And just to let this one slip away, it's
You're right.
embarrassing.
You're right. I mean, there's no excuse for that. And I know just if we could talk Pistons briefly, and then I definitely want to hear Flannel on the Red Wings stuff too. And I know you got your takes on Pistons. That's what I love about this crew. Everybody here is knowledgeable and passionate about the Pistons. But just my quick takeaways, everybody instantly went to Cade needs to be better than a second triple-double in a run. I get it. I believe that there's an aspect or level of criticism that you levy. Yes, Cade has to be better. But when you speak of solutions, that's where this isn't as one-to-one. Cade, just go out there and do it. Averaging a career high in minutes, almost at his career high in usage rate. And he's putting up better stats than he has ever put up, and the team is looking far more competitive. But it's like we've been talking about all season when we saw them losing the same way. We stated, if this team doesn't bottle up this recipe, go and look at each and every one of the wins. And it was part of the question that we asked JB, that I got to ask JB Bickerstaff in a press conference after the Lakers win. Hey, the wins. You guys have 6 players in double figures. What have you figured out? But you go and you look at the losses, and Jaden Ivey has been doing his thing, but we've talked about this. You have to have that number 3. And in the game where Jalen Duren goes out, And in the game with Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley combined for 1 for 10 from behind the arc, I guess it's, to some, it might be a little bit easier to ask of Cade, hey, Cade, can you give us something more as a part of your triple-double so we can win? Look, I want him better, but they're going to have to do something to give him a little bit more. That's the reason why they signed these vets in the offseason, was so that we wouldn't be saying these things. Instead, it looked like the ghost of Alec Burke and Bojan Bogdanovic dragging their legs across the court last night.
Sure.
It just, I don't know. They're going to have to figure out who that third wheel is. And Jalen Duren, the ankle injuries, I'm hoping he's okay long term. But if they have to deal with that again for another season, that's not going to spell a good recipe.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that Cade, especially in the second half, went cold, wasn't great. Not all triple-doubles are created equal. This one was more inefficient, especially in the second half, but you nailed it when it comes to Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley. 1 of 10 from 3. Malik Beasley, 2 of 11. It can't happen. That's not why you signed a guy like that. That's not why you signed a Tobias Harris, who, other than his three ball, was actually pretty good. But Cade needs to be better, but I also think you have to acknowledge that his help, other than Jaden Ivey and Paul Reed, maybe wasn't up to par either. And Paul Reed, shout out Paul Reed, by the way. I'm really upset that the Pistons wasted that performance.
We've been saying all season as well that he needs to play a little bit more. And that's where I agree. Cade needs to be better. 4 assists and 4 rebounds in that fourth quarter for Cade Cunningham, and a whole lot of potential assists. Why? Because people were missing some wide open shots. And that's where I'm just like, if he's going to play his career high in minutes, all of us have played some form of sports. Stamina is a real thing. I don't believe that Cade Cunningham is going to be the first player in NBA history to achieve this perfection as relates to the collision course of effectiveness, efficiency, and playing all the minutes and literally doing everything while you're in. Kevin Durant doesn't even have that type of responsibility. His usage rate is much lower. His responsibility is much lower. The help around him is much better. Those are the things that we're talking about. So it's like, if Cade Cunningham has to be that player that we want. I heard everybody tell me this, that LeBron James needed more help. LeBron James needed more help. I heard that for a generation upon a generation upon a generation. And Cade still, to this point, has never had a team as good talent-wise as some of those ones that LeBron James had in his Cleveland years. No matter what people want to do to scoff at the talent, there were at least some washed all-stars on that squad. Cade has not had that type of help on this team yet.
No, he has not. And Chuck Brewer in the chat, no, Sam, it wasn't Cade, it was the defense on him, and the folks didn't pick up the slack. And there's definitely some merit to that. I am not coming down on Cade Cunningham at all. I just think that even he would tell you that he's got to be more efficient. And that's okay, by the way. There's no criticism whatsoever. And you're right.
Yeah, others didn't pick up
the slack, but you also have to give some credit to Jaden Ivey played his ass off as well.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Jaden Ivey has been the star to start the season for the Pistons. Are you talking about a model of consistency, a model of resilience, a model of taking what we saw the last 15 games of last season and saying this is not a fluke. This is just who I am, and it's just getting better for Jaden Ivey. And I like what I'm seeing out of him. And, yes, what I'm saying is I agree. Cade has to be better.
Yeah.
But is the solution, Cade, get a free throw call. Cade, make another shot. You're averaging the most on the team. Make another one. Not expect Tobias to just hit 1-3. That's where I'm at. It's like, what's the solution to achieve Cade Cunningham being better in the fourth quarter? Is it just Cade? Hey, here's a stamina pack because this is NBA 2K. Like, that's not how this works. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to just talk about Cade be better. Tell me how, if you were the coach in the gym, how are you making the situation work better for Cade Cunningham? That's what I'm stating.
And just a quick tidbit, Tobias needs to be pointed out. And I know it's early, don't get me wrong, but the fact that he is hitting 16% of his threes, that is atrocious. I'm sorry. Like, you were the veteran.
No. You didn't hear? Cade has to have a quadruple double. He has to have a quadruple. Tobias doesn't have to be called out. It's all on Cade. That's what this is about.
Nah,
I need you
man.
to play
Look
48 minutes.
Look at Kool-Aid on his I was told shit, man. I love that. I love that energy from you, bro.
Inject that into my veins,
No,
Kool-Aid.
for real,
Inject
for real.
it right here. Right here.
16%, that is atrocious, and this is what you were brought in to do. It's cool that you were 7 for 12. It's cool that you do other things on the floor, but in winning time, we need you to hit three-point shots. You were brought here to space the floor. 16% is not good enough from the best veteran on your team.
No,
I'm sorry.
And if you want to go even further, Malik Beasley is shooting 32% from the floor.
Yeah, that's bad.
They've had moments, both of them have. Don't get me wrong, but
More Malik than Tobias. But.
well, that's the thing. There will actually be living, breathing human beings, including our own Sam Stick Day, that will blame that on Cade Cunningham not making his teammates better. I swear to God, you will hear that. I have heard that. You will hear that today. You will hear that in this chat. You will hear that until the end of time. That Cade Cunningham just he doesn't motivate his teammates to make more shots or something like that.
He's gonna be fired up right now. I have nothing more to say, bro.
You started it. You actually started it. And I just had to piggyback on that because I was actually willing to give more, I would say, soft criticism of Cade. But once you started talking, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Cade could have been a little bit better, but you're right. What is he supposed to do? Every single night play excellently?
Because when the team couldn't score in the first quarter, he literally was offense.
Oh, yeah.
Then they say, oh, he was so bad in the second quarter. Bro, he played the whole first quarter and was everything. And you know what I saw one commenter say? Yeah, but that's because he was making all easy shots.
He was getting to the rim at will.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
And that's what I'm saying. But he didn't make that happen, apparently.
Yeah,
it was what
yeah.
the Hornets gave him. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm just like, there is not going to be a win with him. And that's where I'm just saying, yes, we can all kumbaya at this space. And Cade will be at the same table saying, I need to play better in the fourth quarter. He needs to be better in the fourth. Nobody is disregarding that. Nobody's sitting here saying that he's above reproach or criticism. The thing is, just what's the solution? And then when we look across the box score and we look at what people were brought in to do, you did not pay. No matter what people want to say about the contract extension, your highest paid player on the team right now is Tobias Harris, who was brought in this year to still be a baller. We thought pencil him in for 17 points every night. If he did that last night, we win the game. But he didn't do that last night.
He didn't do that.
1-3 gets him there.
If he makes his only free throw of the night, that ties the game. The Pistons shot
Yeah.
5
Yep.
for 9 from the free throw line. Charlotte was 16 for 16. If we can just make our free throws, it's a whole different game.
Herb Nice asked a good
fact.
question. Where does Bickerstaff fit into this? And that's where I do believe he's made some necessary things. But that last night, I can't really put a lot on him. You're getting a lot out of a little. Ron Holland the rookie played big minutes, who
He
a lot
did.
of you didn't have any expectations for. And I'm,
Big
chat
bucket at
family.
the end, by the way. That steal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's Jalen Duren? The last two games, what was a part of that mix? You talked about it yesterday, KG. Jalen Duren. If you miss a Jalen Duren, I feel like if he's in that game, that's our rebound.
There you go.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so with JB Bickerstaff, he made the necessary tweaks that I wanted to see. There are things that I was still like. I wanted, like you, Flannel. I wanted to see Paul Reed sooner in the season. I feel like he has something to contribute, something to add to this team. I just do. So I'm glad that you called that out. But with JB Bickerstaff, he made the tweaks. We saw it after the Knicks game, and it panned out beautifully. A large part of it is going to be what these young players do. But when you go and you spend the money on 3 players that came from championship-chasing teams last year, you expect those guys to be exactly what we all thought they were going to be. We all talked about it, all free agents when we got them. Now all of a sudden, they're not showing up the ways that we thought. Tim Hardaway Jr. definitely has shown up. Him and Ivy from the guard position and Ron Holland have been, awesome as it relates to compliments to Cade.
Sure, and Ron Holland, on brand. I'll say on brand. I don't have any worries about him, but man.
You got to talk Red Wings in the next segment.
Yes. Let's because we got to lighten the mood a little bit because last night's Pistons loss was I agree.
One more
sucks.
mitten made.
Yeah.
Pistons need a point guard. That's what I think this is. The backup point guard is a black hole right now.
Yes, it is 100%. But do you know what is not a black hole? Planet Fitness. Most certainly isn't a black hole because there are so many of them across the United States. It's
a
actually
galaxy.
I'm about to say it's actually the best gym in the game. I mean, if there's 50 plus Metro Detroit locations, that certainly is not a black hole. It's fitness that fits your budget. If you're trying to get in shape for the holiday season, or just try to maybe bank in some weight loss so you can gain it all back at the holiday season, no matter your fitness goals, whether you're on a budget, whether you just want the highest quality gym, you've got to go to Planet Fitness because they've got all of the amenities, and you can even get more if you upgrade from the regular membership to the black card. You can go to all locations across the United States. You get some extra perks, and but they don't have a rock wall, as Neil Rule always says. But you don't need a rock wall because who actually uses the rock wall? It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
KDK Law got your back. Wake up Woodward Sports got your back. Man, I love our breaks. I love the fact that we love Detroit sports, man. Like, it's passionate in here, whether we agree, whether we disagree or not. And it's because it's Detroit sports, man. It's how we rock this city. It runs in the veins, and I absolutely love that. I know that I can trust you guys. Chat family, go ahead. Let's run up those likes. We got a lot of Lions on the docket today. We got to talk about Iffy, Melifonwu, and Emmanuel Mosely. Like, I can't even think of this secondary. Getting those two back there. Kerby Joseph as well with some more secondary talk and some DPOY noise. Jared Goff MVP, Jahmyr Gibbs, WUW Crew Fantasy. We got to talk about the Red Wings. They did beat
They did.
the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. I was about to say something crazy, and I was like, no. Let me just chill. I don't like Chicago.
That's fair. And unlike the Pistons, the Red Wings took care of an inferior opponent on the road. But the Red Wings also are a little bit farther along. But I'm seeing this sentiment in the chat, and I, for the most part, agree. I'm very happy with how the Red Wings played last night. I thought the first line maybe had their best performance all year. You had DeBrincat with basically a buzzer beater at the end of the first half, assisted by Larkin. You saw Larkin in the second quarter get a wrist shot goal, assisted by DeBrincat. You love to see that. The first pair of Edvinsson and Sider was as dominant as I've ever seen them. They didn't allow very many scoring chances, and the one goal that the Blackhawks did score was against Petrie and Sherratt, who have been the exact opposite. They've been morbid. They could cost this team wins. They could cost this team a playoff spot, but that's another story for another day. And also, Cam Talbot, what a season he's had up to this point. 929 save percentage, 4th in the entire bleeping NHL. And Alex Lyon actually is 12th in the NHL with, I believe, a 916 save percentage. I don't know how sustainable that necessarily is. I'm kind of disturbed by the fact that you've got the 4th best goaltender in the NHL in terms of save percentage and the 12th, and you're 6-5-1. That's a little bit concerning, but at the same time, I like how the first line played. I like how the first pairing defensively played. I like the fact that the first line, you saw a little less dump and chase and a little bit more a zone entry. Dump and chase isn't the worst thing in the world, but the Red Wings have the personnel to actually carry the puck into the zone and create offense like that. And you saw that last night, and I think you'll continue to see that again. I just think when you look at this team, I still believe that in terms of their top-end talent, they have a Stanley Cup-level offense. I mean, Raymond, Larkin, and DeBrincat are damn near a point a game. I think their first defense pairing in Seider and Edvinsson is a Stanley Cup-level first pairing, but the rest of their defense is very, very suspect to say the least. And their scoring depth, I mean, Kopp has had a good season in terms of goal scoring, but when you look at it, it's been a lot more luck than actual skill. Yeah, let's just call a spade, including last night was an empty netter. Go ahead, Cooley.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, the Detroit Red Wings, we want to be fair here. Their expectations are definitely a little bit more farther ahead than what the Detroit Pistons are right now. And so if we're going to, early in the season, have a little fun with the play-in Pistons, we do have to talk about the fact that the Detroit Red Wings have started off the season where they ended last season, right in the middle of a wild card race. They are in that second wild card spot as it currently sits. And out of the things you've seen, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, as things start to stabilize, how confident are you that we're going to see this be the floor for where the Red Wings go from here?
This is tough because, as I said, I don't think Cam Talbot is going to be a top 5 goalie in the NHL this year.
We need more playoffs in the city.
No, he has been spectacular. But even last season in his all-star season, he was a 913 save percentage guy, and this year he's a 929. And you know he's not going to be in net every single game. You're probably going to get him for 45 to 50 games. But to further your question and to kind of parlay something that was seen in the chat to your question, Mike G asks, do we need to see more goals from 23, which is Lucas Raymond? Yes, but at the same time, he leads this team in assists. He's a point-a-game guy despite only having 1 goal.
Man,
I think those are going to come.
Now? He's getting cated.
Well,
Cade handshake with Lucas Raymond.
I actually think that this could bode well for Lucas Raymond and the outlook of the season, because what we expected from him this season, I know some people predicted 40 goals. I thought that was a little aggressive. I definitely thought 30, but he's adding some elements to his game. Like, so far this season, he's been an elite distributor and a playmaker, and also defensively, he's taken a leap. That's why he's on the second line with Kopp and Comfer as kind of like the stopper line on the second line, more of a defensive level line. So as far as Lucas Raymond goes, I am a little bit worried about the 1 goal in 12 games, but he's done so much else that I think he'll be fine. I think this actually means that he could end up having like a 90-point season, which is probably what the Red Wings will need in order for them to make the playoffs.
Mike G, I see you in the chat. Dog, the chat family is already on one this morning. I appreciate you guys for being here. And just looking through the chat as well, Mike G, Raymond better not turn into Justin Abdelkader.
I don't think that'll happen. I mean, they did pay him. But like I said, his goal scoring, you're obviously going to need more, and I think you're going to get more. But I think DeBrincat and Larkin, for the most part, have made up for that because they've been really the primary goal scorers on this team.
Kiazi, I mean, I'm not surprised by Cam Talbot. I knew he would have a decent season with the Red Wings, considering that he's an all-star the previous season, and I just studied his game before. And then Kiazi also says, when our younger guys or rookies start to elevate their game is when we'll start really taking off as a team. I feel like Newsy just let the boys do whatever the heck they want, though.
Well, there's some Derek Lalonde is certainly beyond reproach. And at this point, speaking of the young guys, you might need Albert Johansson to be on the second line. So that maybe that would even improve some things. Go ahead, Chase.
I was just gonna say, like, Cam Talbot has proven throughout his career that he's a very capable goaltender.
Sure.
I think he's been either the starting goalie or like in that 1A tandem role on 4 different teams that have gone to the playoffs, and some of them have gone as deep as like the Western Conference Final, I want to say, when he was a part of the Edmonton Oilers. So he has been able to get teams to the playoffs and even make it further into the deeper rounds of the playoffs. So, I mean, top 5, I'll agree with you. I don't know if that's necessarily sustainable on the season, but I definitely think we can like keep him within the top 10, maybe top 15.
Whew. He was an all-star last year.
Yeah.
He was. I think it was 54 games or 52 games started, which is, I think, a little bit more than you're going to get from him this year. But, yeah, I think Cam Talbot, it wouldn't shock me at all if he has a season similar to what he did last year. But that still would involve a little bit of regression to the mean. I'd like to see the offense pick it up a little bit. I'd like to see a guy like Vladimir Tarasenko actually do something. He's been a little bit disappointing this year, to say the least. He definitely hasn't been what we bargained for as Red Wing fans, and I think what Steve Yzerman bargained for when he signed him. But we'll see. All things equal, they are 6-5-1. I just when you watch them play, it just something still seems amiss, and that's very much the sentiment in the chat. They're very inconsistent.
I got a couple more from the chat that I want to read here. Hey, thank you guys as well for engaging in this because it's Detroit sports. Let's get back to it. I do believe that the Detroit Red Wings have a great opportunity to have this be their floor and land in the playoffs. We remember how hype it was during the chase when we were down there at the arena. It was epic. Inside the arena, outside the arena. That overtime goal was crazy. JB, KG, and myself are all the way up there in the rafter with these people that were looking at us like, hey, you know what? These crazy brothers can rock with us too. But Steve-O, baby. I like this one from Steve-O, baby, man. I never know, what we're going to get, but I like this one. I'm actually predicting the Red Wings to make the playoffs. After all, I was one who predicted the Tigers were to make the playoffs after they were struggling in August. And we also got to give some love here. IT Hips. Dylan Larkin has 8 goals already? What a start.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want some real positives, and I was mentioning the first line as certainly that, both Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat are on pace for more than 40 goals. Do I think they're both going to get it? No. Do I think even one of them is going to get it? Probably not. But at least with DeBrincat, we've seen it before, and I think we would all agree we do need a little bit better of a season, especially a more consistent season, because he was a little bit disappointing last year, especially down the stretch when Larkin went out. But at least Larkin and DeBrincat, the way that they're playing, I've got no qualms whatsoever. And honestly, with Raymond as well, and you could even include Kane in that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like you said earlier, Sam, I was going to tap back in about Lucas Raymond. And having had like only the one goal, but like I think it was 9 assists on the year so far.
It's got 11.
11, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree that that's a positive. I'm not going to hold my hat on that. I was hoping and talking with Justin in the preseason, he was projecting about like 85 points for Raymond, and I think we were expecting maybe like around like a 45, maybe 50 assists total. So if he can get up there and, get close to 25, 30 by like maybe Christmas, that's going to be way ahead of the mark. And I mean, we saw how much he turned it on late in the season, scoring goals when it mattered most. So I definitely think Lucas Raymond being productive and lifting up his teammates just is a very, very good sign for this team.
It's a great sign. I mean, a point a game, however you can get it, is fantastic. And especially since he hasn't found his stroke, pause, at least in terms of scoring goals yet. But as you said, Chase, the stretch to end the season, especially when things around him a lot of times weren't optimal, really is what got him paid. Really is what assured all of us and Steve Yzerman that he was going to be one of the stalwarts of the future, and he got paid as such. And I'm expecting, if you were to ask me right now who I think will end up leading this team in points at the end of this year, it will be Lucas Raymond, because I think a heater in terms of scoring goals is coming very, very soon.
Second, that's so street fan.
Absolutely, and I think that could maybe offset a little bit of a regression to the mean from guys like Talbot and Alex Lyon, who I still think can play well, but they're playing out of their minds.
Yeah, and you know what? Man, I like hearing you talk Red Wings.
Thank you.
And it's cool to be able to talk about a team right now that is sitting in a playoff spot. And to be fair to the Detroit Pistons, they are tied still for that last play-in spot. Listen. Let this be your floor. Do you know why everybody's so passionate about this? You know why everybody wants Cade to be even more? Because they can taste it.
Yeah.
They can see it. We can all see it. With these Red Wings, it's just the same thing. Let this be your floor. This squad right now dropped a couple games. The Pistons. They should be probably 500 right now, if we're being honest. Let it be your floor. The Red Wings. There's a couple games that were all ready to start the season. It's like, maybe you guys should be competing more closely for an actual one of the actual playoff spots rather than one of the wild card spots. So it's like, let this be your floor. Learn through the early mistakes. Build that chemistry up. And let's have some fun at LCA.
We are just a point behind the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. We have 13 points on the season.
Yeah.
They have 14, so we're just outside that third place spot in the wild card standings. The Metropolitan Division's a little bit tougher, so we're a few points out of a wild card spot, but I'm not focused on a wild card. I'm focusing on getting one of those locked in spots.
You want that locked in?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm looking at third in the division.
Sure.
Locked in for you?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I hope so. I hope so. But here's if you want the best
teams.
if you want the best news from yesterday, and this is a high level analysis here, they beat a really bad Blackhawks team. They're obviously building something. They have one of the best young, like one of the up and coming young stars in the game who won Rookie of the Year last year, Connor Bedard. But the Blackhawks are still bad, and the Red Wings took care of business, and that's what they have to do. If they want to make the playoffs, that you got to beat the bad teams, and they did that last night fairly convincingly, despite it not always looking super impressive.
Yep. You know what? We'll end it with this one. Mike G. Flannel Kool-Aid Chase. It's early, but eye test. Are the Wings better than last year? Shots are down and goals are down. Just pointing that out.
I already responded to him in the chat. I said I think they're better than last year. Yeah, I'll say it.
I think so, but I don't blame you if you go the other way. You need to see a little bit more, but it hasn't cost them anything. They're still 6-5-1. It's just with the way that Lyon and Talbot have been playing and the way that Edvinson and Sider have been playing ever since they were the top pairing, you'd like them to have maybe another win, but it's all right. Like I said, they got a nice win over the weekend. They got a nice win at Chicago, 2 games that you needed to have, and they did it.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Both of these teams, keep it going in the right direction, man.
Yes.
They're hot right now, man. They're emotional for this. The Pistons didn't get win 3 last year until December 30th.
That's fair. Baby steps. But you know who doesn't need to take baby steps? The Detroit Lions, and they may even be getting some more reinforcements. But first, I got to tell you about where the best Lions coverage is, and that is Woodward in Maine and the pre-game show. Woodward in Maine, you've got Terry Foster, you've got Matt Broder. Terry Foster's an absolute legend. Matt Broder is a rising star, and we know all about what he can do. Shout out Broder, shout out WUW Crew. But every day after Lions games, they do a show right before us, and every Lions game day, usually Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m., they give you the best coverage from a couple of very different perspectives. And then, of course, you've got to go to the pre-game show starring those two guys right there, Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. Very trustworthy. Unfortunately, that was the Charlotte Hornets announcer last night when Brandon Miller made that shot. I hate that guy so much. But you know what? In that situation, I don't blame him.
He hates the Pistons, too. You can tell.
That guy's such a clown. But last night, because he does the exact same thing when Miles Bridges hits a jumper to put them up 18-14. I hate that guy. But it's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Baligian bring you the best Lions pregame show. This Sunday, it is actually at Hayes Social, 6 to 8 p.m. right before the game. You got the pregame, you got the watch party, you got the postgame, all at Hayes. And they got the latest injury reports, fantasy sit-and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games, because they are live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. On away games, they do the show from the studio, or this week, something special at Hayes Social. It's your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tully Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Detroit sports and Detroit Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. So they're treating you right. All you got to do, head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward, all right? Code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
In that field, please don't run off with that jury. You might get. I ain't even gonna say that. You know what it is. I'm a child. I get it off a gram. I get it off the scale. I got clientele.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. And we promised you guys a lot of Detroit Lions talk, and that is on the way. Some reinforcements might be in store in the future for this Detroit Lions defense, Flannel Sam, in the names of Iffy Melifonwu, and Emmanuel Mosely.
What?
This secondary could get even nastier.
And the rich get richer. And not only that, you were able to survive a game at Lambeau with Alkamin Muhammad and Levi Onwuzurike being your starting edge rushers. That should not be the case at Houston because it looks like Josh Paschal will be back. He had a non-cancerous mass removed from his shoulder and looks like he's coming back. That had to be some scary stuff for him.
So for him, man.
So glad that he's okay. And Zadarius Smith, I know he's getting a couple days off because this was supposed to be his bye week and now he doesn't get one, but I think he's expected to report on Friday. And a veteran like him, he doesn't need a whole lot to get ready. I think we will see him as well. But the bigger news is that Iffy Melifonwu and Emmanuel Mosely, who both have not played so far this year due to injury, have their 21-day window to return. Their 21-day practice clock has just been activated. And man, as I was saying before, the rich just continue to get richer because I want to paint a picture of what you could actually be getting with them coming back. And it's not a perfect picture, but I just want to really show you what these guys can do. I got to start with Emmanuel Mosely because at this point, you're not exactly sure. You definitely can't count on an Emmanuel Mosely because his body has just basically betrayed him lately. 2 consecutive ACL injuries in back-to-back years and then a torn pec. But when he was on the field, this man, I truly believe this, Emmanuel Mosely was better when he was at his apex than any corner that we currently have right now has been at any time in their career. Obviously, Terrion Arnold is a rookie. He has not had a lot of time. But still, in 2021, Emmanuel Mosely only yielded a 78 passer rating when targeted. And in 2022, before he went down, a 64 passer rating when targeted. And we know that the corners have done a very admirable job. And Terrion Arnold is only continuing to get better. But if, knock on wood, there's even an injury that has to keep somebody out for a game or two, and obviously Terrion, Carlton Davis, and Amik, they've been good, but I still think you could use the reinforcements. Maybe Emmanuel Mosely is that guy if he can come back because he has played a lot of good football when he was healthy.
Especially when we look at last year. When we look at last year, it was almost in reverse. We were losing members of the secondary, and we wound up having to rely on players where the moment might have been a little bit too big. And the times and the roles and the positions that they were playing, we were overutilizing them. When we talk about that word usage, I love how scrappy and how hard they worked, like guys like Jerry Jacobs and Kendall Vildor, but they were in over their heads in those positions game after game after game. So in this year, though, it's almost in a position where the Detroit Lions are going to be getting secondary help, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yes,
Yeah,
of
we
course.
hope. We have to say hopefully.
Hopefully.
I would assume that activating it at this point means that there's like this is a good thing, because we talked about during the break. This did happen with James Houston last year, and we were wondering, is he going to play? Is he going to be active? And towards the end of that season, they started that practice clock. Shout out to Matthew Broder, who was one of the first to get a video of James Houston walking around the practice facility and everything, and put out there. He's back. And social media lit up at that time because we needed an edge rush. We needed a pass rush. At that time, man, I remember how happy we were. But I'm hoping this time around, knock on wood, that with the secondary, hopefully with the opportunity to get more healthy, to get more deep, to get more experience and more knowledgeable, I can't wait. I'm really hoping those guys are available, especially for a potential playoff run.
Well, and also I saw
Super Bowl run.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Super Bowl winning run.
Yeah.
Mitten made.
Thank you, Flannel.
That's
What
all
are
right.
brothers for?
Yes.
That.
Yes. That's what brothers are for. But Mitten made in the chat mentioned something. My boy Rake needs more reps. I actually disagree. I think that what we've seen from Ennis Rakestraw so far this season actually would potentially necessitate Emmanuel Mosely being a depth piece, because right now, and it's not an attack on him. He's a rookie second rounder. I don't think he's ready to contribute meaningfully to a Super Bowl winning team. There's a reason why Terrion Arnold was a much better prospect and was drafted much higher, is that he's somebody that I know KG was the leader of that pack, but all of us, once he was drafted, thought there was a pathway to him contributing to a Super Bowl winning team, and he has, and Ennis Rakestraw just is not ready.
I agree with that. I want to hear what KG has to say as well, but I do agree with that. I think you said it well. It's not an attack on him, and I think to further prove that, that's why we just omit the conversation. We understand he's a rookie. That's why up to this point we haven't really addressed where's Rakestraw at.
Right.
Because of what the expectation was. If Terrion Arnold was having a similar type season with the expectations and the draft slot and such, like you said, Flannel, we'd be having a different conversation.
And we did see Rake in the Packers game. He did get beat for a big play. Yeah. I do agree with Sam. I don't think he's ready yet. Now, that's not saying he's going to be a bust or anything like that,
Right.
but just give it time with Rakestraw. Exactly. He needs time to adjust. He was a second-round pick. I'm sure they expect more of him going forward. But, man, to get Iffy Melifonwu back first and foremost, he is like one of the best blitzing safeties in the NFL, man. And that's somebody that you're absolutely going to need down the stretch. You saw what happened in that Packer game. Brian Branch gets ejected, then what? And, shout out to Brandon Joseph for stepping up. But ultimately, you need people back there that you can depend on. And Iffy Melifonwu is definitely one of those people. He's one of the better tacklers on this team as well. So you're definitely going to need him. And I thought Mosely was done. Like, that was news to me when they said he was coming back. I thought he was done for the year.
No, at the beginning of the season, they stated the way that they shut everything down, it was for the purposes of potentially having him back for like a playoff run.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I was, when I heard the news, I was just like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
No, I absolutely. And to get somebody like him back is going to prove dividends later on down the road. I mean, we talked about the injuries. Obviously, you can't depend on him to play major snaps for this team. But even in a reserve role, having a veteran like that, you need as many good veterans as you can get down the stretch in terms of, finishing the season and getting into the playoffs. Because we all saw what happened with Kendall Vildor last year. No, I don't mean to throw shots at him, but if you had somebody more experienced playing that corner position last year, then maybe that play, said play doesn't happen. So it's good to see Mosely back. I hope he gets back to 100% and actually can contribute to this team, because they haven't given up on him. They've signed him, a couple times now. They expect him to contribute to this team in some way, shape, or form. So hopefully he can do that.
Yeah, and I know that some people have asked as well, Flannel and KG and the rest of the WUW Crew, about Iffy Melifonwu and how we will utilize them. And before we dive into that, Woodward Sports MVP, JB Smooth, man, all the talk so far, man, this back wall right now, Iffy and Mosely, talk to me, brother.
I kind of feel like KG as well, too. I was a little surprised in knowing and hearing that Emmanuel Mosely would be back, because I just thought we just shut him down for the whole entire season and that was it. But to see that he could quite potentially be back for hopefully this long-term playoff run that we have going on, it's amazing. It's great. This bolsters the defense amazingly, and now this gives us an even better shot at, I don't want to put this out there, but that Super Bowl hopes is well alive for this team now.
Damn right.
Man, you know what? We got to continue to talk about the secondary. I want you to be able to kind of dive into that Iffy Melifonwu question as well. When he gets back, what do you guys think the best plan of action is for that secondary room? It's going to be a little crowded, and I like it. But we also got to talk about one of your godsons, Kerby Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
First, though, you guys, walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. It's open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special by scanning the QR code on the screen somewhere around here. You will find it. You'll find it before me probably. And once you do, listen, man, you get that coupon.
It's by the leather pants.
Oh,
Lord.
Is that where I left it? Yeah. It's in the left pocket of my leather pants. That's where you'll find that QR code. It's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. You guys got to trust the guy that DMAC, 4-time Stanley Cup champion winning DMAC trusts. Why? Because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. All you got to do, visit them online, MichiganSportsAndSpine.com, or call 248-426-9944. Hey, and we are back, man. Hey, what a start to the morning. I'm hoping that you guys have had a good start to the morning. Thank you for supporting us. Let's run up those likes, man. You got to treat it right and treat it nice, man. You got to go on ahead and hit that like button. Hey, when's the last time y'all took that like button out for a nice dinner?
That like button getting cold
You know
and
what I'm
lonely.
saying?
Hey,
Come on.
you see your phone
When's the
sitting
last
over
time you
there.
guys
It's
dressed up
calling
real
out
nice?
to you, man. Your phone is calling out to you. It's been so long since y'all spent some valuable time together. So just go ahead while you watching this. Just go ahead and tap it a little bit, man. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, you know what? I just want this one dream fulfilled right now. Iffy Melifonwu and Emmanuel Mosely come back to the Detroit Lions. Super Bowl, man. I want all of the reinforcements we can get, and some of the questions are, hey, when these guys are back, how's that room going to look? Especially with the Iffy Melifonwu, because that safety rotation is both of those guys are looking like defensive player of the year candidates.
It's a crazy situation because before the season, before I knew that Iffy was going to ultimately miss so much time, and before I saw what Brian Branch ultimately has done at the safety position, I would have had Iffy as like the full-time safety and Branch as the slot corner, because you saw that work effectively last year. But you can't really do that right now because Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph are literally right now the two best safeties in the NFL.
Must be on the field.
If there was an all-pro, I would vote for both of them to be on it, and that's not a homer take. That's not hyperbole. That's how it has borne out. But with Iffy, it's...
Listen, when I hear you say stuff like that, we've had more than enough film on Flannel to know that he does not just, without, in his own world of logic, just gas up the Lions. So if he's saying it, that stuff gets me really fired up, Flannel.
Yes, and Terrell from FL says something interesting. If he can play all over the field, absolutely. He's good in coverage, yes, and in the box. He could actually play a hybrid Sam role. Can't wait till he comes back.
Yeah. Better in the box than coverage, but I get what he means.
Sure, he's competent enough in coverage. And is there a way that they can all be on the field more often than you think? Maybe Aaron Glenn is more creative, because I want to paint another picture, as I often do when it comes to Iffy Melifonwu, because right now we have the best safety tandem in the NFL. The two best safeties in the NFL, they reside in Detroit. But I got to really remind people what Iffy Melifonwu did last year, and how him returning, if they can utilize him, would be almost like a cheat code. Last season, Iffy Melifonwu was tied for third on the team in sacks, tied for third in pass deflections, and one of two players on the team with multiple interceptions and a forced fumble. That was him and Brian Branch. He was the ninth-rated PFF safety last year in terms of the whole year. Even though he came on more at the end and played more snaps, he qualified enough to be the ninth-rated PFF safety to go along with the numbers that I just gave you. And in the playoffs, he was third on the team in tackles and one of two players, along with Aiden Hutchinson, to have multiple sacks on the Lions in the playoffs. So Iffy Melifonwu last year, there's a reason why I was so high on him going into this year, why I actually thought, looking like a smart prediction now, that he was going to be maybe the one, and Kerby Joseph his role was going to subside. Obviously, dumb prediction, but I'll pretend I didn't say that. But my point is that Iffy Melifonwu was damn good last year. He was...
Those stats are amazing when you just kind of read it out like that and put it within the context, and within hindsight, we understand the run that the Lions went on. Can you imagine if Iffy wasn't back there while we were running the backup, like the third string and fourth string cornerbacks?
Well, that's the thing. And it was Aaron Glenn's adjustment to bring Iffy Melifonwu more, which, when the Lions couldn't get any pressure, that really helped them win a couple of games. And Iffy Melifonwu, he will always be a Lions legend no matter what he does, because he might have shined the brightest above anybody in that game at Minnesota when the Lions actually clinched that division. He had 2 sacks and the game-clinching interception. Iffy Melifonwu is a damn good player, and I think it is a crowded secondary room. It's about to get even more crowded, or it's about to be a very crowded secondary room, but you got to find a way to get Iffy Melifonwu on the field. And of course, I hate to bring this up, you always have to factor in if there's injuries. You would really like him as a reinforcement, even if he's not on the field with a fully healthy secondary as much as maybe you'd think.
Injury reinforcement, I would have liked to have him last week.
Sure.
Yeah. I would have liked to have him against the Packers. What up, though, KG?
Nah, and me and Sam in lockstep with this, and we was talking during the break. Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph right now, you cannot take them off the field. Like he said, they're the best safety tandem in the NFL. This is no slight to Iffy, because he did take a huge step last year after a couple years of kind of wondering where was Iffy Melifonwu's place on this Lions defense. He had a hell of a season last year, so having him back it pays dividends ultimately, because you are able to do more stuff. You are more versatile in some of your defensive play calls. But do I expect him to get major snaps at this point? Not necessarily, but they will be bringing him in on certain packages, blitz packages and things of that nature. And he will play some coverage too, don't get me wrong. But the fact that you have such a strong safety room right now and getting him back as a reserve, and like you said, maybe even injury prevention, I love it, man. This is something that the Lions absolutely needed on that back end. You love to see it.
Bro, it's like, hey, you want a safety or the quarterback? Who? It's Iffy and Mosely. Sure.
Yeah.
Here you go for your playoff run. Terrell from FL. If he plays a hybrid Sam role, he can create a lot of pressure, which would be amazing, which is, a lot of the things that you guys are talking about this morning as well. And with Aaron Glenn, you said something that got my ears a little bit perked up, Flannel. Can Aaron Glenn be one of those, as it relates to his maturation as a defensive coordinator, can he take a Ben Johnson type leap where he's like, what in the mad scientist is going on right now? He's already befuddling teams. When you look at how stupid, whatever wizardry is going on in the red zone for the Detroit Lions. Last year, we started to notice that. We were like, wait. We keep talking about how much they're getting gashed, but I keep seeing these teams running into a brick wall when they get into the 20s. And then this year, they've turned that into, we're just going to take the ball from you. You're not even getting a field goal. So I do wonder, especially when you get those types of reinforcements, because all of these guys, no matter what we believe they should play, we all do agree that they're all versatile.
Yeah.
All of them, which is insane. all versatile and all good. Like, I'm sitting here like, goodness gracious, I don't even want to undersell this thing. They have a lot that they can do, and this allows Aaron Glenn and those minds in there like KG, Kelvin Shepard,
that's KS,
Tyrell
not
Williams.
KG, right?
It allows these great football minds and a Dan Campbell, man, to just get busy.
Yeah, and Iffy, to speak more to his versatility, and I don't think he's going to do it, obviously, in the NFL, like be an outside corner, but he was drafted as a corner. He can play a little bit in the slot, and Amik has been he's been fine, but if he ever needs...
You're thinking.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
Amik was right there in coverage on Justin Jefferson. He's 5'7" though. Like it was just a fingertips length away from him. If he's 6'3", like that's a possible interception.
Oh, 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3", 210. He's like 15 pounds lighter than Cam Chancellor.
That's a difference, huh?
Yeah. Or even if you want to play him on the back, that frees up Brian Branch to do whatever the hell you want him to do on the field. Whether you want him in the slot, the outside, don't matter. Like,
Because
he can do whatever.
If you walk them on the field together, are most teams going to believe that Iffy is the guy you have to think is going to be blitzing? Because you can disguise it so much. You can disguise it so much. With how many interceptions Kerby and Brian Branch have been getting, if I see Iffy walk on the field, I'm thinking, okay, the defense has to. We keep talking about
based off
you
reputation.
have to account. That's why I'm like, yo, Aaron Glenn. We talk about personnel versus talent, and we'll continue to knock on wood because right now they have to make up for and bridge the gap of a big loss in Aiden Hutchinson. It's not all roses, but if you have to have it go this way, at least you got some lilies. Shout out Liliana. You have some lilies. That's my baby girl. You have some lilies along the path, like Iffy, like Mosely, being able to be some reinforcements, like a Zadarius Smith being able to be here as well.
It's really difficult for me to even picture, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we've been doing it as a network ever since the Packers game.
2020.
The Lions losing at this point because they're getting healthier. It's really is crazy. And you mentioned something about Aaron Glenn potentially taking like the Ben Johnson leap. I think he already has.
Yeah. As I was talking, I was just like, wait, they're snatching field goal opportunities and touchdowns away from people right now. Like, Dave, how do you I'm sitting here like they're already stopping teams in the red zone.
Yes.
And then instead of like being like Kanye, like how many more records can my records break? It's just like, you know what, this year we're going to stop teams in the red zone, not by forcing them into field goals, but by getting interceptions. And then my safeties, after Aiden Hutchinson goes down, are still going to look like Defensive Player of the Year candidates.
And then maybe Iffy Melifonwu getting a big 3rd and 5 sack.
There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Aaron Glenn, and I get it, Iffy Melifonwu was definitely more of a necessity than a luxury last year. He has shown that he knows how to deploy that lethal weapon in Iffy Melifonwu, so he will find a way to get him on the
Maybe
field.
You're right. Maybe we have to catch up to Aaron Glenn.
I mean, Chase mentioned he looks similar to Cam Chancellor out there. I'm not saying he is Cam Chancellor as a player, but in terms of if there's any qualms about him potentially being like a hybrid Sam linebacker, maybe it's his size, but we've seen him blitz effectively, and I don't think he would be like a 4-down Sam or anything like that. It's situational. I would give damn near anything for at least a package of snaps in which you see Kerby Joseph, Brian Branch, and Iffy Melifonwu on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
That Neil Rowland, Sean Belegian face. If I see that, I can't promise you what happens next. I'll just say that.
No, listen, we talk about getting more help back in the secondary. What about getting more help in the pass rush? That absolutely helps your pass rush with the new addition of Zadarius Smith and a return of Josh Pascal. Just think about it.
Goodness. What up, though? Chase GPT.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say because KG started spitting.
My bad.
Yeah, he was spitting. No, he was spitting fire, Bar King.
Damn, they're literally spitting there.
But JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP, and long-term voice of reason. I don't even want to get ahead of myself, but there's so much good stuff that I'm hearing right now. And Aaron Glenn got a lot of toys right now.
Aaron Glenn has a lot of toys, and I just love how this is all just coming together. I know at the beginning of the season we had very high hopes, and when you had a couple injuries, but just to see everything just now falling into place, this is perfect. This is perfect for us to continue on with this huge Super Bowl run that we have right now. And not to mention that Vegas had this out on the Spear earlier this week as well, too, the Lions helmet. So we're getting love in Vegas.
What?
We're getting love in
Send
Vegas
that
right now.
to the team. ASAP. Oh, my word. And you know what, Terrell Lamar? I don't want to lose none of our coaches. Me neither, bro. Like, Flannel, please send out that PR alert again.
Yeah, because
make sure the other teams understand about Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson.
I'll tell you what, if they can retain both coaches next year, it would be an actual miracle. Because at some point, I figure both of them will want to do it on their own. But Ben Johnson had a golden opportunity, and he stayed. Aaron Glenn, I know he had some interviews. I don't think he was necessarily ready just yet, but this year, what he's proven and how people like to play for him, they might both get a head coaching job. They might, neither of them might, one might. They're definitely going to get offers, but maybe they just like working under Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
There's a big difference being a head coach
as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to hire those guys. You don't want to hire those guys. Did you hear that Ben Johnson doesn't hold the door open for old ladies? He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it.
He can never be a head coach.
I saw it.
Oh my God.
Despicable human.
Goodness gracious.
Did you know
Scum of the earth.
Did you know that Jared Goff actively hates Ben Johnson? It's true. It's true.
Why you sound like a political ad? We done with those, man. We done with those. I'm good.
That was a terrible example because they literally work together in such unison. It's like poetry, but they hate each other. It's all out of spite. All of it's out of
I love the
spite.
attempts because we understand how illogical it will be for these guys to be here forever. But we must try. We must try.
I heard Ben Johnson boos kids. That's what I heard. So.
Oh my gosh. Hey, there's a search we need. Ben Johnson boos kids. He needs to just stay in Detroit. That's what we do here, right? That's what I heard.
I heard Aaron Glenn once walked down Woodward and had an empty pop can and just threw it on the ground. He littered it.
God.
You cannot have that man as a head coach.
In the great state of pure Michigan.
He's got to stay here. You don't want him as a head coach.
We should get a collective of Lions fans to agree to change their name to Ben Johnson. So that way, when the active coaches searches begin, they can all show up to the facilities. I'm Ben Johnson. I'm here for the interview.
Hold on, pause. Will the real BJ please stand up?
It's like, I am Spartacus. I am Ben Johnson. I am Ben Johnson.
And you know what's crazy? They would do it too. There's some Lions fans that y'all know would be like,
That's a fact.
Hey, you know what? It's gonna be funny.
That is a fact.
When it's like black ones there, Hispanic ones there, and it's like, I am Ben Johnson.
Yo soy Ben Johnson.
Tell us about Caesars, JB. I could do this forever, but we have to talk about a safety who has been balling out of his mind. And we all know who that is.
Oh my God. We're off to one this morning, but you know what you can be off to as well too? That Caesars Sportsbook app that you got on your phone. Scan that QR code right now. Use code word Woodward 1000. You can deposit up to $1,000. All you got to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, they will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. Scan the QR code on screen. It's Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Make some money today. It's Thursday Night Football.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Somebody say merch. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but I got to tell you about the ones we got up here on screen. You know we got the Stoke Not Scared. You know we got the Boo Them Kids, which apparently Ben Johnson does a lot. Why would you want this man as a head coach somewhere else in your city? Don't do that. And you also got the Woodward Tigers as well too. We see you out there. We see you making moves. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. Get swagged out for this upcoming season.
Yeah, like I never told you guys this before, but you know, Kid Kool-Aid and I, we were at Ford Field for an event. I think JB was there with us too, and Ben Johnson, he flew in for the Minnesota Vikings game, and he literally booed Kid Kool-Aid and then flew right back. Like,
Wow.
Not head coach.
Wow. Can't have that,
guys.
man.
I'm
That's
just,
disrespectful.
KG looks shocked.
You want to know what I found out?
What?
Ben Johnson's eating the dogs. He's eating the cats.
You do not want to hire that man as a head coach.
Hey, and you know what? We got to talk about more in the secondary. One more point on the on Iffy. You had a pretty good something you wanted to toss out there.
We were just talking during the break, and
Listen up, chat,
we were
fam.
just talking about like his size comparison. If he, in stature is a somewhat similar build to Cam Chancellor, if he could somewhat meet that level of play, and we could have our version of Ed Reed in the backfield with Kerby Joseph, our version of Brian Dawkins in our backfield with Brian Branch, and then our version of Cam Chancellor and Iffy Melifonwu. I mean, that is an all-time secondary in NFL history potentially. And the way that our defensive line and Ali McNeil and DJ Reader and a healthy Aiden Hutchinson and a healthy Zadarius Smith are all going to help each other by taking attention away from each other and providing pressure. Like, we're going to have that in not just the defensive line, but in that back end of our secondary. And, the emergence of Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone stepping up and playing better and better each year. I mean, this is going to be an insane 3 levels of defense we could potentially see out of these Lions.
The thing about that, too, is when you say something like that, Chase, it sounds crazy. You got Cam Chancellor, Brian Dawkins, and Ed Reed, but for at least a half of the season, Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch have been that. They actually have been that. They are the 2 best safeties in the NFL right now. And, Iffy Melifonwu we saw last season. As I said before, he was, not only did he put up all those numbers with blitzing, interceptions, coverage, and all of that, he had the numbers, he had the eye test, and also PFF ranked him as the 9th best safety. So you're not crazy, Chase. I don't think they're all going to be that at the same time, but I don't hate it at all because Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch have been Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins at the same time. But speaking of Kerby Joseph,
yes, sir. You have to go there. But I'm trying not to look at the chat because our chat family is crazy, dog. They said that Ben Johnson is a guy who throws cats back into trees that firefighters save.
That's amazing. That's
incredible. Even in the chat right now.
Oh, he's in the chat.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I saw that Ben Johnson put a comment in there talking about booing them kids.
Oh yes.
Hey, but you know what, Kerby Joseph, you talk about the Staffords and the booing them kids things. I don't know how much they're fans of one Kerby Joseph.
Probably not. But I will say this.
Mr. Steal Your Pass.
For the last couple of weeks, I love that. For the last couple of weeks, Kerby Joseph has played to such a level that you can't ignore him even in terms of Defensive Player of the Year candidates. And as I mentioned last week when I had Kerby Joseph at number 4, it rarely goes to a safety. The only safeties who have ever won it are Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Bob Sanders, and Dick Anderson, the great Dick Anderson. But Kerby Joseph... Dick Anderson was a dog. The 72 Dolphins legend, Dick Anderson. And the 73 Dolphins who were a better team but didn't go undefeated, Dick Anderson. So put some respect on his name.
I'm sorry, Sam. That's good.
That's fine.
Sam likes Dick, y'all. Newsflash.
If his last name is Anderson, I respect him as a safety. And the NFL did too because they awarded him with a Defensive Player of the Year. Anywho... Kerby Joseph last week on my Defensive Player of the Year list was 4th. This week, you know where I got him?
Talk to me, man. And we're going to have to update the people on shorts after the show as well.
2nd. All the way
Second.
at number 2. The only person that I have above him is Trey Hendrickson, who's on pace for a 20-sack season. He was an absolute monster last week, and he went from being not even a thought on my list to number 1. And it usually goes to a dominant edge rusher. And if Trey Hendrickson gets 20 sacks, he more than deserves it. And you know what? He may help Cincinnati turn around and actually make the playoffs. But this is a Kerby Joseph segment. The more Kerby Joseph continues to make spectacular plays, the more you just can't ignore him. He is now tied for first in the NFL in interceptions with 6. He's one of 12 players in the NFL to have a pick 6. He is the number 1 PFF rated safety, with number 2 being Brian Branch. When he has been targeted, he allows a 47 completion percentage and an absurd 32 passer rating when targeted. He has been an absolute demon. And as I've mentioned before, and I can update this after the pick 6 that he had, it's not just that Kerby Joseph is getting interceptions. He is directly taking away points, and he is directly giving his team points. 4 of his interceptions have been in the opponent's end zone.
And the production has not slipped with the loss, not just of Aiden Hutchinson, but multiple people on that defensive line.
It is not. He's actually stepped up when they've needed him more. And of course, he had the pick 6 last week against Green Bay, which completely changed the game around, was the play of the game for sure. And his other interception against Tennessee, he returned it all the way to the Tennessee 12-yard line, and the Lions promptly punched it in. So basically, with his interceptions, he's taken away 28 points, and he's given the Lions 14. This man has stepped it up to a level that I didn't even know he had. He's playing like the best safety in the NFL. We all knew that he was a ball hawk, but he's taken that to another level. And just as an all-around safety, Kerby Joseph is playing at a Defensive Player of the Year level. He's playing at the type of level that the Ed Reeds did, that the Troy Polamalu's did, like the Brian Dawkinses did. The man is having a special season.
Man, absolutely special. What up, though? Mr. Woodward Sports MVP, man, JB Smooth. What up, though?
Oh, nothing much. I was just looking at some Jared Goff stuff that we got going on over here. And the chat is just blowing up like crazy.
Bro, man, the chat is cracking me up right now. And you know what? Just talking about Kerby Joseph overall, I'm going to continue to highlight the fact that he's doing this all while the Detroit Lions found themselves in a spot that a lot of fans, a lot of media, a lot of people thought, you know what, how? You can't replace this. You can't make up for this. But Kerby has stepped up. Brian Branch has stepped up. Aaron Glenn has stepped up this year, and it is huge. And you're right. I want them to go game by game, like Dan Campbell stated. That's why I'm glad that at the beginning of the season, that's his mindset, because I keep thinking about when they get Mosely, when they get Iffy, they get a little bit more healthy, if they get Barnes back, things like that. You know, Rodrigo's coming back. Think about how many players have stepped up this year, man.
Yep.
That's an amazing thing. Like, just even thinking about Malcolm Rodriguez, he's stepped up this year. That's so, and that's what makes me very, very excited about them getting, potentially Iffy and Melifonwu back, bringing in a Zadarius Smith to better balance things. And now players can play better within the roles. And when they get an opportunity to get in there, they can go all out because they're not going to be taxed for the full game. If they do have to play a full game, I'm hoping that it's just situationally. You know, like in the Brian Branch situation, then somebody else has to step up and take over. But consistently, I'm hoping that the Detroit Lions can rely on what looks like they're going to have a little bit of depth here in this secondary, as well as within their linebackers, and then you're getting some major help with Zadarius Smith on the defensive line.
Yes, and that'll make it even better. But as you said before, no matter who's there, no matter the plethora of injuries that the Lions have suffered, unfortunately, this year, Kerby Joseph has been such a consistent figure. And honestly, he might, out of any Lion over the totality of the season, certainly you can argue a Jared Goff, and certainly you could argue an Aiden Hutchinson on a game-to-game basis, but you can argue that no player on the Detroit Lions has more of an imprint on the Lions winning 7 games than Kerby Joseph. If Kerby Joseph doesn't play at the level that he has so far this year, I think the Lions have 3 losses. That's how valuable he's been. Yeah, he's taking points away and giving points directly, or giving the Lions points directly.
Exactly that. I think that's the word on Kerby. You got anything to preach on Kerby, Mr. KG?
No, I agree with everything Sam said.
Shut it down.
Yep.
Shut it down. Any last words on Kobe? on Kerby. R.I.P.
Having a Kobe like him.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, my goodness gracious, right now. And it was insane seeing Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch and the Lions players at the game and leaving the press conference. Sometimes I like to cut through the Players Club, see who's in there. Sometimes you'll see George Blaha, is where I used to see my guy Earl Curitan, who passed away and was honored at the Michigan Hall of Fame this year. And that's why I used to go in there and talk with him and things. And then you walk out of there and you go down to the court level. You see all the fans and such taking that, in the game shot that they let them take. And you just see a crowd of people. I'm like, what's going on? And it's just those guys. Kerby got a hoodie on, tied all the way up, just kind of incognito. Brian Branch, I know a lot of people saw his pictures and videos throughout the night. And those guys, you could tell, man, they are happy to be here in Detroit. They were happy to spend and take that time with all those fans. And I want the success, obviously, because we're Lions fans. But when you see that these guys are going out there and put in the work to not just say, you know what, let's be better. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's go and be elite. Let's go out there and make sure we can win a Super Bowl. When they say for Hutch, I believe it. Yeah. I believe it.
Yep. And nobody, like I said, nobody has been more responsible for the Lions playing well, playing at the level that they are, than Kerby Joseph. And to really put a bow on this, there have been a lot of great safeties who both play in the NFL now and have played in the past. You can mention even like a Ronnie Lott or a Minka Fitzpatrick or an Antoine Winfield Jr., just to name a few. Ronnie Lott may be considered by some the best safety of all time. I'd go Ed Reed, but some people argue Ronnie Lott never won a Defensive Player of the Year. Never even came as close as I believe that Kerby Joseph should be, at least right now this year. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. But
I know something that says something.
What's up?
This might make you smile. Mitten Maid. Kerb is who we thought CJGJ would be.
Better.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
CJGJ, even when during his best season, was nowhere near what Kerby Joseph is now. Like
talk that talk, bro.
And on the field or in the locker room?
I'd say on both.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Both.
Like, that's what I was saying.
Yes,
both. Yeah.
Both. Thank you for bringing that up. Both.
You know what? We got to talk about some more players on this Detroit Lions team that deserve some more love as well. One guy, you might have heard of him. His name is Jared Goff. I think that everybody across the country is hearing his name being chanted in airports and other arenas. Goodness gracious, Jared Goff. Everyone's talking about him being a potential MVP. Not where does he rank. They're saying he's the MVP.
He's certainly. You can certainly have that opinion, and I respect it. And I may or may not have that opinion. Find out next. But first, I got to tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste of tequila. Drink responsibly.
Always drink responsibly, but never keep your Detroit sports fandom in check. Hey, especially now that we have platforms like this to let our voice be heard everywhere. And we know that people know that we here now. Before they used to say stuff like small market, I'm like, no, it's too many people here for that.
Yeah.
You see how we're selling out the arenas. Y'all aren't doing what we're doing here. Y'all don't support like we support here. That's what I love about this, especially Woodward Sports and the chat family as well. What we get to do, man, be able to gas up and set up the Krispy Kreme factory for our Detroit sports teams, man, especially when they deserve it. If there's some criticism, there'll be some criticism, but it's like family. We got to talk about, though, one person who I don't know how much you can criticize anymore. He's rewritten a whole lot of narratives, and he's on a path right now to rewrite one of the biggest narratives in all of sports, period. The Detroit Lions winning the Super Bowl, and that guy is Jared Goff. He's getting a lot of talk right now about the season that the Lions are having, Aiden Hutchinson being out, and this team's offense getting week by week, not just better, but more and more elite. They are bludgeoning teams, and they're scoring over 30 points a game. Jared Goff at the helm has put up perfect halves, put up a perfect game. Hall of Fame hit him up like, hey, bro, we need that jersey real quick. That's going into the Hall right now. We're not even waiting. Jared Goff has been every bit of the guy that during that podcast before the contract, and we were wondering what are they going to do, and we were hearing rumors, and he was just sitting there cool, like, why is he so just chill? Like, I already know I'm going to be here for a long time. It was just like, that's the Jared Goff we actually got playing quarterback right now, and nobody can phase him. Can continue to knock on wood. Nobody can phase him right now. Jared Goff, to me, he's the MVP. You lose Aiden Hutchinson, you still have this team humming along. The offense has done a lot to make up for that difference as well. And Jared Goff is looking like not just he makes quarterbacking look a lot less stress-free than what I see some of these other quarterbacks do.
Well, I think last week what was really great about how Jared Goff played is you saw, especially when you look at Jordan Love, how important it is to just play clean. Was he asked to do a ton? No, but did he make the throws that needed to be made, including a touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown? Absolutely he did. And as we know, Jordan Love on the other side threw one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen, and Jared Goff did not. And that's probably been the most important thing is there have been games where he's had to throw for a lot of yards and touchdowns, and in the last couple he hasn't, but he's not turning the football over, and that is the most important thing. And when you just look at Jared Goff's numbers right now, he's first in completion percentage, second in yards per attempt, second in quarterback rating, and they are the number one team in the NFC and the number one scoring offense in the NFL. And that's an interesting list you got up there, JB. Jalen Hurts, should he be in the top four?
He's been playing way better since he's got his weapons back.
That's fair.
Saquon has just been such a monster too,
especially with A.J. Brown being back. Yeah, Jalen Hurts can be in it, but right now, just to be a little bit of the wet blanket, I do have Goff number 2 on my MVP list. I still have Josh Allen number 1 because he's obviously putting up great numbers: 17 touchdowns, 2 picks. Lost his 2 leading receivers in the offseason, has really cut down on the turnovers, which were definitely a problem last year. Had 18 interceptions last year. This year he has 2, and he's on pace to have his 5th consecutive season in which he accounts for 40 touchdowns, both when you combine passing and rushing. And then you saw what he did against Miami. They needed every single one of those 30 points that he led his team to. The defense gave up 27, and in the second half, every time the Bills would take the lead, they give it back up. They'd go up. They'd go up 12-10, then it was 13-12 Miami. They'd go up 20-13, Miami would tie it. They'd go up 27-20, Miami would tie it. And then, of course, the Buffalo Bills got the ball back last. A drive that was heavily aided by a Jordan Poyer penalty, but still, Josh Allen in a game where his defense didn't really step up and a game in which the Dolphins outrushed the Bills, played absolutely phenomenally. But there's no shame in being number 2 on the list. I just got Josh Allen a little bit higher because I think he has less around him, and I think one of the narratives going into the season was what are they going to do? Their Super Bowl window is over. And he just said, not so fast, as I predicted, by the way. But Jared Goff, if you want to put Goff number one, I have no problem with that.
I mean, I get so tired of people, saying Ben Johnson made Jared Goff. Like, that's only half right. I don't think Jared Goff gets enough credit for how he has really elevated his game since becoming a Detroit Lion, man. And everything that he's going out there and doing, I don't know if you know this, but the last 4 or 5 games, he's like the only quarterback to start 10 for 10 or complete his first 10 passes. I don't know if y'all know how difficult it is to complete a pass in the NFL, but nobody has done that. Not Tom Brady, not Patrick Mahomes. If we just talk about like how he's improved his completion percentage this year, he's passing at 74% clip. He's had like 83% or somewhere in the 80s the last 5 games or so. He's doing what no other quarterback has done, and he's doing it kind of in the traditional way. Like, he's not doing it with athleticism. He's doing it in the way of the old school quarterbacks by making checks at the line, destroying coverages, shit that we would see Peyton Manning do, shit that we would see Tom Brady do. So I just think that Jared Goff, he's just playing an excellent game of football right now. Yep. And no, he doesn't have to do everything, folks. No, his stats don't have to pop off the page, but he's doing everything that this team needs in order to be successful at the end of the day.
And the reason why I believe his stats don't pop off the page is because of that efficiency. When you look at the game he had against Jordan Love, when you look at the game that he had against Sam Darnold, when you look at these other games, these quarterbacks are Geno Smith. These quarterbacks are throwing like almost double the amount of passes that Jared Goff is throwing. Yeah. And they're still losing to the Lions, but at no point in the game does it look like Jared Goff doesn't have a handle on the offense. And then when it gets down to winning time, that's why even with the Minnesota Vikings game, people are like, y'all only won by 3. You got spotted 10 points, and at no point in time after Jared Goff said, he said, yeah, they had a couple things. Those first 2 drives, they did things that we didn't see. Then we caught up to it, and it was just it. That to me, those are the things that don't necessarily, you don't find a stat sheet that shows, oh, Goff is a Terminator as it relates to figuring out what this other squad is doing, and Ben Johnson is going to help as well, and then going out there and destroying it. Yeah. We've heard them say this several times. I've heard Goff step up and say at the halftime or after the games, yeah, there was like 5 things that they were doing different. Their first 5 drives, the defense was doing different things, and then we caught up to it, and then guess what? There was nothing else that other team could do. That's crazy when you think about it, because every team they've played has been one of those narrative teams, either undefeated or a first-place game or a team that people think, oh, this upstart who can take out the Lions. And what do? Here's we're sorry, these are the ashes. And then the Honolulu flu sets in for them other teams. Yeah, that's where I'm just like, it's so hard to really judge Goff, because this season more than ever, not just clean, but he's almost playing perfect football. Yeah, and in today's game, we've kind of have gotten away from, with the athleticism and everything, how accurate is your quarterback? And he's displaying a level of accuracy that just we flat out have not seen. So I think for that reason alone, he should definitely be in contention for that top spot in MVP. If you don't want to give it to him because he does have the rushing stats, I can understand that. But everything else that he does is like, he is literally the reason why the Lions are so successful on offense. Yeah, that's true. And I can't disagree too much with Flannel's assessment either. It's like, when you look at the makeup of Josh Allen, I'll be honest, I was one of those ones that just thought he was going to be decent, but kind of an afterthought. And so what he's doing with those Buffalo Bills in an area that, who knows how motivated people are to try and say, you know what, let me go there and win. We know that during the trade deadline, there was a lot of people, a lot of rumors, a lot of noise of people saying, we want to go to the Commanders. You don't really hear that about the Bills. And instead, you actually had them losing some pretty big pieces as well. So, I know they've done things to try and satiate, but I don't crush you for having him above Jared Goff.
Yeah, and I also want to say that they did get Amari Cooper, but he was out. As soon as he got back, he was
Josh Allen's
hurt.
Done most of that on his own this
year. Yeah. But honestly, like, you guys are all right with what you said about Jared Goff. He's played the best football of his career. I would actually argue that other than the last 2 games, his stats not popping off the sheet really hasn't been a problem. It's just the last couple of weeks, I think he has 230 yards combined in both of those games. But as I said before, he's played clean. He's had moments this year, like that 18 for 18 game where he has done the spectacular. And he's perfect for this team. He's smart. He makes the right decisions. He's in year 3 in the Ben Johnson system, and it's almost like a cheat code at this point, because maybe I think we can all recognize at this point that Jared Goff's greatest strength, like some of the other quarterbacks, like the Peyton Mannings and even the Tom Brady's, is what's up here.
Yeah.
The mind.
I'm trying to tell you, Ben Johnson can draw up all the exotic plays he wants. Jared Goff has to go out there and execute.
Of course.
And he's doing it.
And it's amazing that he was identified by them as the quarterback who could do everything that they would ask. Do you know how crazy that is now in hindsight, now that we know that Ben Johnson is actually a mastermind? Think about that. When they first got him, these are the things that they were stating about Jared Goff, and how many of us scoffed at that. I keep telling you guys, I've been on socials for almost the entire time Woodward has existed. I remember what people were saying when we were posting those quotes early on. So it's like to see that this guy has actually not just gone out there and been the game manager, not just gone out there and just made some decent passes, some short plays. We've seen him go out there and air it out to J-Mo. We've seen him go out there and put it down the field 20 yards on a dot, on a rope to Sam Laporta. We see him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who are in the middle of an amazing connection right now, an amazing streak. I think like a
30 in a row.
30 in a row.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's nuts.
That's
we don't
nutty.
realize how
and
hard that is to do.
He's double and triple teamed right now, man. He's getting all the attention as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
How are you?
There's NFL players on the other team, by the way. Like, this is something. you go out there and complete 30
too,
passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Shout
I'm
out,
pretty
Neil.
sure you can't. Like,
look, bro, we were told that they were good teams too, right?
Well, I actually think like Minnesota is a good team. It makes it more impressive that the Lions went to their house. I've said this again.
Too, good secondary. Like,
Absolutely.
they've done it against good defenses.
I love Flannel, the politician. I love it because I remember you were trying to set that point up yesterday, and I was like, you know what? He is right. You know, and in the beginning of the season, that's why I think that they actually got a shot to be the threat more so than the Packers. And so what you were saying is right. This team is good. They were undefeated. They were beating good teams.
It's better to say that the Vikings and the Packers were good, but the Lions are just that much better than to just kind of be like, they were always trash. That's always been my point when it comes to the Sticks and the Neils of the world, is that it is unbelievably impressive that coming, like example in the Vikings game, coming off of the Aiden Hutchinson injury, to go into their house and beat them and beat them any way you can. That's incredibly impressive.
It's you know, even just a little cherry on top of how impressive it is like, you know, on socials, looking at the different playoff graphics. Oh, these are the playoff standings going into those games. And it's those other NFC North teams there. We can't undersell that. They beat them. Those teams are still in playoff position. You look at the next week against the game against the Packers. They throw the playoff graphic up. It's still all these NFC North teams. But you know what? The Lions are folding them up and tossing them out.
They are. And that's one of the reasons why I continue to... If you're an opposing fan, if you're an opposing coach, you almost have to throw your hands up at this point. That's why we even people on this network have even entertained the idea, knock on wood, of 16-1, because like the Packers and the Vikings, they're not bad. The Lions have suffered injuries, and it doesn't mean anything, and they're getting reinforcements. It's unbelievable. They're playing like a historically good team, even with the injuries.
I gotta stay away from these comments.
I'm seeing the comments, man. I you know what? Whoever you are out there, Mr. Ben Johnson, this is a great addition to the chat.
Oh, Ben Johnson.
I think the chat family loves having Ben Johnson in there too, and he's in there being an honest individual, espousing all the reasons why he would be a bad fit for all the other NFL teams. So
Ben Johnson doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
I love to see it, but something else that I would love to talk about this week. What the WUW Crew Fantasy Football? We got to break that down. We got to break that down. Tell us.
No, we don't need to do that.
Well,
yes, we do.
For some people, not me. But.
Yes, we do. Tell us about the watch party and post game.
You know what? New Holland Brewing Company watch party and post game show live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. The watch party gets things kicked off with the heavyweights and other Woodward Sports personalities just before the game. And I'm telling you guys, if you see any of the reaction clips, then you understand it's a place you want to be if you're not at the game. So every single Detroit Lions game, you can catch us there. And it's a great time, great food, great drinks, all on the #1 Detroit sports network, Woodward Sports. So if you can't be there, make sure you're tapped in to the live stream. And then right after that, the instant analysis with the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anson. Your boy Kool-Aid runs the phones. So we want you guys involved. If you're there, we give you the mic, put you on camera, get you involved. If you're not, make sure that you call in, and we'll get you guys a part of the show. Every single Lions game, and it is absolutely epic. All of this brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Total Your Local Long Drink, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and Soroki's. And the Soroki's.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
I got to tell you guys about that Tangerine Space Machine, the new easy drinking IPA that is out of this world.
Word.
It's smooth, it's juicy, with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with the Tangerine Space Machine. Grab yourself a can of this intergalactic haze of goodness. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the official beer of outer space. They know about this on the moon right now. They're drinking it right now. Brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan, so you can support locally as well. Go and grab yourself a case of this intergalactic haze of goodness.
Hey, what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward and Chat Family. You guys are electric. Hey, y'all are crazy, dog. That's all I can say. It's been a fun morning. You guys are very clever, very funny, very informative, and simply the best. Continue to smash that like button to support the WUW Crew. I see Ben Johnson still in the chat.
Hey.
And he's continuing to honestly espouse the reasons why, other NFL teams should not hire him as a head coach. He says, I don't flush when I number 2. It's a present for the next person.
All right.
All right, man.
Lord.
I don't know if you guys saw they followed it up with kind of asking the question what? No one else likes the smell of roses. That's what they had to say.
Oh my God.
When they didn't get the
Wow.
Oh, snap.
What a
Hey,
time.
well, we are back. I got to toss it over to chest pass to Mr. KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth for the fantasy update.
Man, and what a week it was. It is now week 10 starting tomorrow. But we are going to recap week 9 in the WUW Crew Fantasy League. And JB, you can do all the delaying you want to. Bro. You go ahead and just throw up the matchups. Let's go through them. Go through them. Your boy is on the heater right now. I mean, I am unstoppable. 5-game winning streak, the longest of anybody this season. And
you hit 200? Is that the first 200 of the season?
The first 200-point game this year. The highest point total scored this year. I'm on fire.
You
can't
just gonna
stop
win
me.
everything. He just wins Bar King, shuts it down. Now he about to win the fantasy league, shut it down.
Hey, listen.
I mean, it's a WUW Crew thing.
Listen, when I came into Woodward Sports and I told y'all I was the #1 draft pick, y'all thought this shit was for shits and gigs. It wasn't. I'm for real about mine. But anyway, let's go through the matchup, man. This was a battle of the QBs. Jalen Hurts versus Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts, for me, 47 points. Lamar Jackson, 46, man. But 8 out of my 10 starters go for double digits. Saquon Barkley, he's having a hell of a year in fantasy, 32 points. Zay Flowers, 29, and Devontae Adams with 22 points. JB, Jackson Smith, and Jigba put up 37 for you, but Jalen Waddle and Dalton Kincaid combined or actually put up 7 points each. So you can't win that way, man, but you lose a close one there, 200 to 175. Let's go over to Broder versus Chase, man. Oh, also, me representing Chuckle Cheese and JB representing Ed O'Neill. So let's keep that in mind. Broder representing James went against Chase representing Chinavirus in the chat. And this was the blowout of all blowouts, y'all. 197 to 116. Broder takes it. And Broder, man, Josh Allen is having an amazing fantasy season for him. 42 points. Derrick Henry, 26 points. Alvin Kamara, 27 points. And Garrett Wilson with a 30-burger. Man, Chase, Marvin Harrison Jr. let you down yet again, man. 3 points in his return.
Well, I got Chris Olave on my team.
I was just about to get to him.
Just like Chris Olave, dude, my team got knocked the fuck out.
That's facts. We all know what happened to Chris Olave this past Sunday. He only put up 2 points before he had to exit the field. And Bucky Irvin with 6 points. And just when you thought Chase was turning it around, he is spiraling yet again, man. But let's go to our next matchup. We have Justin representing that guy 62 in the chat going against Flannel Sam representing Patrick Ofiara in the chat. And Flannel Sam takes this one. He continues his great year, 178 to 143. Patrick Mahomes, man, you know, wherever Flannel Sam is, Patrick Mahomes is sure to follow. And Pat Mahomes put us up 48 points, outduels Jaden Daniels in this one. Jaden Daniels putting up 36. And I was wondering why Juices put Mike Gesicki has no balls as his new team name.
Yeah, he's upset.
He's upset, and I can see why, man. Mike Gesicki, 27 points out of nowhere, man.
I picked him up like that day.
That's crazy, man.
No, but Justin, just don't get bitter, get better.
Hey.
But you know what? That's all right. Good game.
Justin's hanging in there for dear life, man. Quentin Johnston with 22 points.
Quentin Johnston.
Of all people, right?
Quentin Johnston.
He's back.
For Flannel, and of course, Justin Jefferson chipping in with 22 points. For Juices, I mean, he had Devin Achane, 32 points, but his next highest scorer was Tank Dell with 18. I mean, you had Puka Nacua and Mark Andrews combining for 6 points. Not good, man. But if he had started D-Hop, who had 28 points, and started Darnell Mooney, who had 19 points, he probably beat you in this game.
Probably.
But, hey, so the victor go to spoils. And to our last matchup of the evening, it is Mr. Dick Campbell Energy. My boy Kool-Aid, who is representing, give me 1 second, MJ in the chat going against
Finally
Dante.
stop the losing streak.
You was on the snide, bro, but you got off of it, man. Dante going against Dante 151, who's representing Allen W in the chat. Kool-Aid takes this one 187 to 143. And I mean, the story of this game was Joe Burrow, man. 54 fantasy points he put on for you. You also had B. John Robinson chip in with 21 points. Hey, this game, it was a lot of wide margins this week, man, but a good fantasy week overall. And JB, we can go to the Fantasy Weekly Awards for this week.
What up, though, Chase?
I was just gonna say, I told you guys in the offseason, everybody was disrespecting Joe Burrow way too much, and he's showing it. He's showing it.
He's balling.
He might be number one in the MVP race if the Bengals were better.
Yeah,
honestly.
But the fact that they can keep climbing out of these 0-3, 0-4 hole, like, that's crazy to me.
I mean,
absolutely crazy.
They got that mentality of, like, it doesn't matter what the record is as long as we get in. That's like
fact.
their mentality.
That's fair.
That's a fact. But how sustainable is it? We shall see. But JB, flash those weekly awards. We'll start with the highest motor because you know I got to glaze myself. Pause. Hey, how many times do I got to tell y'all? Hey, Chuckle Cheese in the chat. This is our motherfucking league. Your boy is 7-2. What number one, man? What are we talking about right? What are we talking about right now? But your first 200-point week. JB, shout out for the picture. I love that picture, man. Shout out to my nephew Kyrie, who was in that picture with me as well. Man, what a week for me. But we can go to the biggest loser award, which is the closest loss. And that goes to you, JB.
God damn it.
My dog. Hey, 25-point loss. Not the.
Damn, you had to make this, JB?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of wide margins this week, but 25 points was the closest one. So, JB, you put up a good fight, but just not good enough. And we can move on to our doormat of the week, which should be renamed the Chase Award, because
you just keep winning this
time this season, Chase, you are our doormat of the week. Chase, word.
Look at Chase.
Bring it on, man. Pile it on, man. Just come on, give it to me. I mean, we suck.
We suck. Hey, to be honest, it's you and Dante really trading off this award. But right now you got the lead on who has the most. And of course, the award near and dear to all of our hearts and minds. It is the Freak Off Award, which is the biggest blowout, which Chase was the recipient of the blowout this week. It is Freaky Ass Broder yet again winning the Freak Off Award, I think for the third time this year.
Why Broder so freaky, man?
I don't know, man. That is a freaky ass white man. I don't understand it, but shout out to you, Broder. We miss you. You are a freaky ass boy and a 69 guy. That is crazy.
I'm losing it right now.
Oh, man.
Gosh, I love the Woo.
All right, and real quick, let's just flash through the standings real quick because we have a tie for the 4th place spot. Justin is just barely hanging in there at 4 and 5, but we have a 3-way tie right now for that 4th place spot. But you know what your boy, 5-game winning streak, 7-2. Got Broder coming in at number 2, 6-3. Tied with Flandel Sam for 2nd, who is also 6-3. And man, this race is heating up. We have 6 more weeks until the playoffs commence. Who will make it in?
Hey, look, man, I'm threatening. I'm tied. I'm going to get in there.
If you check your team, you'll be all right.
I'm going to get in there.
But that was week 9 in the WUW Crew Fantasy League, man.
Great job as always, KG. You know what, man? I'm actually glad to see you at the top, man, especially with everything you put into organizing and making sure that it's not just fantasy. It's a little bit more than that as well. Get the chat family involved. They have something on the line for this as well. And it's pretty cool, man, to just do this with the WUW Crew. So,
yeah, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, hey, you know what? We got another favorite segment by the other half of this elite booth on the way. Stay tapped in. We got what's trending on the way. What do you want to tell the people about, man?
I got to tell the people about Soroki's.
All right.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Shout out to them once again for always showing up to Hayes Social and hanging with us. But they are dropping a new limited time offer right now, just in time for this football season. They're debuting their fresh signature wings. So grab your friends, grab a New York style pizza, and then order some wings on top of that as well too. You know they got the lemon pepper wings as well too. 7 different flavors. And if you don't have time to stop in store to grab yourself some, you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, you guys want to know where the best Detroit Lions pregame party is for every single home game? It is at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located on 42 Watson Street. It's the ultimate fan experience, and you get to enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Mark White, because Mark White, he'll get you right. That is not the catchphrase, but Easy started it, and it's catchy. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Has been a show. Chad has been on one. We've been on one. And now JB Smooth about to be on one. Let's spark up word to dispo, brother.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Now checking into the game, JB Smooth.
Let's rock.
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's going on, chat family? I've got some news for you, some Lions news for you, actually, concerning one Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, you all remember his celebration from Green Bay this past Sunday. Well, now, Panini is putting it into a card for everybody.
That's dope.
That is dropping today. These are made-to-order cards, so beginning today until it runs out, you can get yourself and order yourself one of these, and some of them will be signed by Amon-Ra St. Brown as well, too.
Do we know how much that card is going for?
Right now you could probably order one for like $6.99, but obviously the price goes up the more you order.
Yeah.
And the chances of getting a signed card are like like 2,000, maybe 200, something like that.
No, that is dope. I absolutely love this picture. The best edit I saw is somebody put an F and a P. Outside of this picture, man. Oh man, that is a great photo.
And if that's not enough as well, too, they're also turning it into a bobblehead.
Oh, what?
Yeah, obviously the design isn't out just yet, but they are turning into a bobblehead, which I thought was kind of unique.
Wow. All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Detroit Lions. You talk about America's team.
Yep.
Man, they're taking this thing to heights I never even expected.
What a celebration. What a
awesome.
celebration.
No, Amon-Ra stay with the celebrations.
Bro, man, they have to win the Super Bowl. All of this stuff would be so crazy. Just the lore that's going on right now that they're creating on the way. If they actually punch that ticket, when they punch that ticket, it's gonna be so beautiful.
Absolutely.
And if that's not enough, did someone say Jared and Jared? Because now Jared Goff has teamed up with Jared Jewelers to put out his own signature ring.
That is a horrible looking ring, but shout out to Jared.
Speak for yourself. That ugly thing, probably.
No, Stick is first in line for that, bro.
Bro, I'm a bachelor. I'd rock that thing. That's sick, man. Like,
it's a promise ring.
No, Stick will be camped out a week before to get the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting there looking at it. I'm like, all right. Oh, Goff with the pinky ring.
It's a promise ring, man.
I wish it was probably like the blue with the white stripe, because the black's kind of like an alternate color. I think it'd pop more like the jerseys. But
what was it? Was it like blue and brown, like football brown, or was it blue and brown?
No, it's got like the black band in the middle.
So something very unique about this ring, the brown part is actually football leather.
Oh, that's brown?
Yeah.
Oh, I have problems with colors. I'm a little colorblind, so.
Yeah, so that is actually football leather. And if you want one of these rings, the starting price is at $1,000. So if you got it to spend, it's all for you.
Hey, get that bag, man. $1,000. That's crazy for that. But hey, shout out, man.
Huh?
Like, baby, I promised to go 18 for 18 on our days.
But hey, Jared and Jared teamed up together now for some more entertaining videos. I don't know about you guys, but I think we should be done with crowd surfing, but that's just me.
Oh, no.
People still ain't learned, huh?
Oh, no. What are we about to see?
Oh, holy shit.
Why didn't anyone catch him?
Well, that's a dive.
Yeah, that's a dive.
That's not you can't. You got a belly flop. You can't dive into the crowd.
Shit,
Oh,
man.
my gosh, bro.
Listen, you got to be a certain amount of famous in order to pull the crowd dive off. If you're not Travis Scott or somebody like that, it's not going to work for you, bro.
Dog, the way all of them back up, bro.
Everybody's got their hands up, but they all got their phone in their hand. They can't catch you. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like everybody just waving their hands like they
And
used to.
everyone is zooted out their minds. Like, what do you expect them to do?
Who goes head first?
I've got a very big vendetta against crowd surfing. I hate it more than anything in the world because I've gone to a lot of shows in which there is crowd surfing, and it's just so annoying. You got these girls tapping you on the back. Can you pick me up so I can crowd surf? You got big dudes who are like 250 pounds doing it.
Hell no.
It's just stop. It takes away my enjoyment. And at venues, they even post, or even at Warped Tour when it was ending, they posted no crowd surfing, and people would still do it.
Yeah.
Hooligans.
Yeah, people don't listen.
Who dives
Hooligans.
head first though? That is wild.
Driving head first.
Bro.
Oh my
You kind of
gosh.
get. I don't. Obviously, I hope he doesn't have brain damage. But what are you doing?
You
Look at
deserve
that.
it, bro.
Like, is he?
Like when you crowd surf, you really deserve whatever you get.
Thank
Because
you.
Not only are you jumping in the crowd and they may not catch you, but if they do catch you,
But
they
that's-
probably take your
and that
shit
ain't
off. Like
surfing.
they stealing your jewelry,
Yeah.
hats, everything.
I was
bro.
gonna say,
like,
have
it's
you guys
so dumb.
have you guys heard stories? Not only are they taking your stuff, but like, I mean, protect your holes. Just like,
Protect your holes. Protect your holes.
I don't know why. Why is Chase saying that so funny?
I've heard stories of concerts. I'm not a
your
concert
holes.
guy. I think they're too loud.
No, he's right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Especially if there's like females doing it, like really be on. But yeah, like no, bro.
your
You
hole.
can't.
It just doesn't end well. Like it doesn't.
Protect your hoes.
Yeah, it's not a good ending.
That's the new drop.
Not a good
That's gotta
ending,
be a
dog.
new
Protect
drop.
your holes. He was trying to find the most diplomatic way to say it, and then when he just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna say it. Protect your holes. It's like, golly, dog.
All right.
Listen, man.
Protect your
Thanks for
holes.
looking out for the people.
Like
Chase.
you'll be vibing out, listening to the music, and all of a sudden you feel like a foot to the back of your head. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
crowd surfer.
Yeah.
Okay, go forward, go forward. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's somebody who's like 270 pounds, like breaking my back to try to move him forward. Like, stop it.
That being said,
shit.
everybody protect your holes. And finally, I will
Word of
end,
the day.
I
Phrase
will
of the day.
end what's trending with this.
Protect your holes.
Someone
That's
please
epic.
go out there and check on bro because I don't think he's doing well.
Oh boy.
Back body
Oh,
drop.
a back body drop.
He stayed down. Like, oh, you know what?
Hey, and they saying wrestling fake. This is a wrestling move being performed on dog. A
Wow.
back body drop. That's tough, man. I can imagine you get all the wind knocked out of you and shit. Oh my god, that's not a flag.
Is it?
I'm still trying to figure out, like, is that even? I mean, he blocked him. He just finished the block.
It just looks like a cheerleading stunt gone wrong.
Oh my god.
Is it a flag? I don't
I'm wondering,
really know.
like, did he grip his jersey and literally throw him over? Or did he just?
That's tough, bro.
I don't know.
He lifted you up from the waist. That's crazy, bro. My man is strong. Pause.
If
Like,
your parents are in the
up from the
crowd,
waist.
just go home.
my man, country strong, bro.
Oh yeah.
He corn fed.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
You know the
Little
wind
Kid
just got
77
knocked
said,
out
I
of
think
him.
he's more embarrassed than hurt. And you know what? At what point in time as well do you give him any room for shock? Like, wait, what the freak just happened?
Yeah,
Like,
that's also true.
I was running at somebody and now I'm on the ground behind him.
Because during a football game, you sometimes get moved in ways that you've never been moved before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I do that? He like flipped, like an actual flip.
So back body drop, man.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's a flag or not, but that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into some mailbag.
Man.
Hey, absolutely can't wait to get
epic segment.
Can't wait to get in the mailbag, but first I have to tell you about Feldman, where I got my vehicle, where Broder got his, where Neil Rule got his, and Kool-Aid might be getting his. It's a Feldman family here at Woodward, and you should go there too. They've been around since 1996. They're Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got the best service. They've got a great selection. Hey, I was in and out in three hours and some change, and Neil Rule got his keys while he was doing the show. That's how efficient their service is. Go to JP, go to Francis, Ryan Palter, he's great too. Just Feldman Chevrolet, your #1 Chevy dealer. And if you are in the area, we do shows there and in the Novi location every other Monday. Wake Up Woodward and Big D Energy. It's Feldman Chevrolet.
Hey, and we are ready for the Feldman Mailbag segment, the Wake Up Woodward Feldman Mailbag segment. Get those questions into the chat right now. Trying to get some of these things queued up. It's been a day, so I expect that the chat is gonna definitely come correct for the Feldman Mailbag.
Yeah, I saw a
segment.
couple in there already, Kool-Aid, if we want to dive
Definitely,
into
if you
them.
see a couple.
From Shad.
Shot.
We got Feldman Mailbag towards the trade deadline. This is more Pistons oriented. Would you trade a distant future first? So I'm guessing maybe like 2026 or later.
7, yeah.
A few seconds and Stu or THJ. So is that Taylor?
No, that's
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim
Sorry.
Hardaway.
For Brandon Ingram.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram's been the name since last year, man. When I was writing articles about it, we discussed it on this show as well. Brandon Ingram is a guy that I would not mind seeing here. You need somebody who can go out there and be that other gunner. We talk about the makeups of good teams. You have to have another gunner on the squad. It takes 3. I like what Cade and Ivy are doing right now, but you need that other player that can also contribute in that way.
I'll make it a clean sweep. Yes.
Yeah, and as far as Tim Hardaway Jr. goes, if he keeps playing at the rate he's playing, expect him to be a really good trade piece.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's been balling.
Best
Expect
veteran,
him to be gone.
Best veteran addition has been Tim Hardaway Jr., no question.
Yep. You said you saw another one?
Yeah. David Cabill asked about the Lions. Do you how much do you think Emmanuel Mosely can help out the secondary when he comes back?
I think a lot. When you talk about Emmanuel Mosely, there's the intrinsic aspect of it, and then there's what you hope he can bring on the field. I think KG talked about it well earlier too. You're not looking for him to go out there and be the guy that's getting all the reps, but somebody who can step in with his experience and with his skill set and be somebody who can contribute during certain types of play sets and certain types of situations.
Yeah, I hate to cop out, but as good as he was before he had that rash of injuries, I just don't know yet.
Yeah.
He's had a really, really tough stretch that could actually end people's careers. So I got to see it on the field before I'm really ready to even expect anything from Emmanuel Mosely. Although if he is even a percentage of what he once was, he can help out greatly.
Yeah, I got a mailbag question in here from Steve DeYoung. Shout out Steve DeYoung in the chat. Feldman Mailbag, with this week being what should have been Zadarius Smith's bye week, does he not have to be at practice, or does he not have to play on Sunday? Now, we did go on with Dan Miller on E&E yesterday, and he kind of hinted at the fact that there's a good chance that he could play this Sunday. So I just want to put that out there for the record. Nothing definite has been put out about that yet, but it does appear like he will be available to play if they decide to play him.
I heard they were letting him report Friday. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So...
And he's a veteran. It's pretty much plug and play. He's coming from the Browns. They run a pretty similar defense to what we do here with 4 down linemen. So he's essentially a plug and play. They'll work out the intricacies later, but as of right now, it looks like he's trending to play.
Yep, definitely. And I see you, just a fan. Let me see here. No, won't read that one necessarily. Q-Ball 93 mailbag. There's also a Kerby Joseph interception Panini signed card you can get for $40.
Nice.
Hey, that's definitely nice.
He deserves a card for all those interceptions
It
he's
might
getting.
be valuable, man. Who knows?
Oh, shout out to Chuba Hubbard getting that 4-year extension too.
I saw that.
Really?
I saw that pop up. Yeah.
What are they going to do with that, though? He's had a really good year, don't get me wrong. It's like the Giants having a great defensive line for no reason. Oh, well.
Actually got to sign Chuba Hubbard helmet, too, at home.
He's been good this
Such
year.
a random grab.
He's been good this year, yeah.
IT Hips, Feldman Mailbag. How many sacks will the Lions get on Sunday if Pascal and Smith are playing the edges?
I'm going to go with 3 because the Texans' offensive line is garbage.
Yeah, they gave up 8 last week. I would say 3 to 4. That would be my number.
We're going to talk about that more tomorrow, though, when we preview the game.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Dante151 with the $4.99 super chat. Can the NFL send the Las Vegas Raiders to the USFL for the Birmingham Stallions because the Raiders stink? Good job, Max. You are in purgatory forever. Golly,
if this was Premier League, they'd be relegated.
Damn.
It is crazy, though, how both guys who we were talking about wanting to trade for, Myles Garrett and Max Crosby, can be playing as well as they are. And it doesn't mean anything because their teams are just terrible.
Hey, shout out Mike Reed in the chat. He just gifted 5 memberships to the chat.
Shout out to
looks
Mike
like
Reed.
we got
Shout out.
But shout out Mike Reed for the donation.
Big shout out Mike Reed.
Hey, Steve DeYoung, Feldman Mailbag. With this week being what should have been Zadarius Smith's bye week, does he not have to be at practice?
I read that one already.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Let me see.
I got one from Honolulu BS with Feldman Mailbag. Does JMO score a touchdown this week? First week back.
I believe so. Get off the snide of that Cowboys game. And I can see the team saying, you know what? Let's try and quiet all the noise right now.
Yeah.
I do believe we see him get one.
Yes.
Look at Sam. I'm
Yes.
so proud of Sam.
Any perceived deficiency that they might have, I'm just throwing out my hands at this point. If it's all overs at this point, just all overs. So
Do we know if Will Anderson's playing this week?
He. Oh my God! If he doesn't play,
up in the air right now.
If he doesn't
play, J-Mo for sure getting a touchdown because that secondary ain't gonna be able to cover him for too long. So
Man.
I mean, not only is CJ Stroud second in sacks on the season for like most sacked quarterbacks, but he also leads the league in total sack yards lost. So when he does get sacked, they're for some pretty big chunks, putting them behind the line of the game.
Good point.
He is getting murdered behind that offensive line this year. I kind of feel. I mean, I won't feel bad for him this Sunday, but I kind of feel bad for him.
Steve DeYoung. I'll read this just to read it, because I don't want to slight Brian Branch. What's more likely, a J-Mo touchdown or a Brian Branch interception this weekend?
J-Mo touchdown.
J-Mo touchdown.
Touchdowns are just interceptions. It's funny because the Lions are not making it look like that. They're relatively rare compared to touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey,
Screw it. Give me both of them things.
Hey, why not?
Both them things. I like that, man.
Both of them.
I like that. Both them things. Well, I think that's a day, at least, for the Wake Up Woodward show. It's about to be a much longer day, as always, for the rest of the WUW Crew. And I know that you all, too, got a full day ahead of you, chat family. This has been a fun one. You guys were epic today. Shout out to Ben Johnson for joining the chat as well. I'm telling you, other NFL teams out there, he's not necessarily the type of head coach material that you're looking for. He's, I think, perfect for Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. Shout out to Chris in the building from sales, man. What up, though, brother? Hey, and shout out to that dude, Justin, always working hard for the WUW Crew. Intern Chase. How's it going?
Oh, doing well, man.
Chase GPT.
Hey, we're doing well, man. It's been a great Thursday. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hope you guys continue to have a good day. Make sure you stay locked in throughout the rest of the day. We got Big D Energy 11-1, Ermanni and Edwards 2-4, Heavyweights 5-7. So a lot of good content for you guys. So look forward to staying engaged with you guys in the chats, and hope you guys continue to have a good day, man.
Hey.
And then don't forget, if you're going crowd surfing, man, protect your holes.
Protect your holes.
Phrase of the day.
That's Chase GPT. So you want to listen to him. I got to commute today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're gonna bang away. Pause. With the accolades for our booth, man. It was all the blowouts this week, man, in the fantasy chat.
That's true.
In the fantasy league. So, hey, but I'm telling you guys, we got boots on the ground at the Motor City Cruise. We got Pistons practice right after this. In the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
Hey, what's up, people? This was a Thursday show that felt like a Friday show, man. But
It did.
Great show today from my guys. I love y'all, man. Love being in the trenches with y'all again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate the support, all the kind words and the not so kind words. Just let's keep this shit rolling, man. One more day. Let's do it.
Let's keep it rolling. Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth, JB Smooth.
Hey, weekend's almost here. We get to do this again tomorrow, and tomorrow is just going to be wild as all ever. And as Chase GPT just said, protect your holes out there.
Hey, let's get this chest pass right. Hey, that right there, Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network. The more things change, the more Flannel Sam stays the same. Great Red Wings insight, and overall, just good job on the show, brother.
Thank you. And just one little tidbit before we sign off. Did you see the Sunday morning game, the Sunday game that they're going to be having in Germany?
No, that's gross.
The Giants and the Panthers. We're trying to get Europe to like football.
Dear God.
They're going to turn it off and go to Bundesliga within 2 seconds.
That was the 14th point from Woodrow Wilson's address after World War I. This is like still the reparations from World War I.
There it is.
Jesus.
That's your that's your punishment. You get to watch this like puke of a football game. But hey. Tonight, we actually get a really nice matchup on Thursday Night Football. Bengals at Ravens. That'll be fun.
Hey, that will definitely be fun. Hey, and looking forward to every time I see like these top-tier teams, just being able to take a chance to sit down and look at them when they're on national TV and just compare them to the Detroit Lions. Obviously, one of those hot start teams is the Texans. And I know we're going to talk a lot more about that game on tomorrow. Beat the Texans, man. Let's go Lions.
Texans.
It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. It's been a show, and I'm hoping that you guys have a blessed one. Just the same way that you guys have supported us this morning. Thank you guys. It's Wake Up Woodward.